good evening, and welcome to Tea Time.
Everybody, welcome to Tea Time. I'm so glad you're joining me. It is Monday. It is the last Monday in September. It's the 30th. Can you imagine? Hello already. I'm going to talk about my weekend, get to my guests real quick. Friday, I took my mom with me upstate to Hudson, New York, because I was filming the following day in Albany. So I have a pic of me and Mom visiting my Aunt Angie. In Hudson, there we are. It's a little slanted because I took it like on an angle, but that is, my grandmother was one of 12, and my mom's in the middle, and my Aunt Angie's on the top, and she's the last sibling left out of the 12. So my mother and her got to spend some time together, thank you, and the next day I had to go to Albany to film something. There's a pic of me on set. There I am on set. All I could say is I play the mom, overprotective mom who loves her son dearly. I cannot say anything else about this. It is so top secret that the producer, director, writer was like, nah, I'll let you know when you could say something. I was like, okay. And so that was in Albany. And I left my mom with my aunt while I went to work, which was kind of cool. And Sunday, you know, is laundry day, as you know. And then I went to the Belmore Street Fair. I met my daughter, Valerie, there because my son-in-law, Stephen LaRose, was playing with a Crucial Experiment. There he is. There's my rocker son-in-law and a pic of my, there, you can put it up, Val and I.
Quick pic.
There we are, quick pic, and the band's behind us. So they play everything Crucial Development, but that particular day, yesterday, they were asked, the town had asked them if they would just do the Grateful Dead. So a lot of deadheads, as they're called, came out, and they would dance, and they rock when they dance like this. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen, but it was great. We had a good time. Also want to wish former President Jimmy Carter a happy 100th birthday. Wow. First president to ever see 100, which is amazing. And so I got to get to my guest now because it goes so fast, my time. He's an actor, he's a writer, he's a producer, he's a friend of mine, and I'm excited he's here. Frank Correira. Hi.
Thank you for having me. It's like being home again.
I know. It's good. Things have changed a little bit.
Looks great. For
the better. But yeah, doesn't it look nice?
It looks awesome. Yeah.
It looks great. I'm so glad to have you here.
I'm so honored to be here.
Yeah. So let's get to it because I know you're not used to sitting on that side
of
the chair.
Weird. Yeah, it's a little weird for me.
So you're a Long Island boy, originally from Central Islip,
yep.
Right?
Born and raised, yep.
Went to high school there?
Central Islip High School, yep.
Yeah. And I know you played baseball, right? You were into baseball back then?
I played baseball, yeah, back in high school.
I think we have a pic, right? We have a pic of
I don't know,
the baseball pic. I think, yeah.
Oh, that was actually softball.
Was it softball?
That was softball.
All right, so which one are you?
That was our bar league. You can't pick me out
Well,
there?
I think I do. No, but...
I'm 1, 2, 3, 4th in the middle there, next to the guy with the hat.
Wow.
That's young me. I was like
young you.
20 years old back then.
So did you play softball first and then went into baseball? Is that
we
how
played
that
baseball
worked?
in school, and then, you know,
Yeah.
obviously it was Sunday morning bar league.
Were you into any of the sports in school? Or?
I played a little soccer. My brother was like the jock of the family. He was actually drafted by the Kansas City Royals back in the 70s.
Really?
But wound up blowing out his knee. And,
you hear stories about people getting signed and then either their knee or their shoulder, something.
The funny part about that, 2 other guys that went to Central Islip, John and Mike Tice, they were NFL players. One was a coach for the Minnesota Vikings a few years back.
Right.
Sunday morning, they're playing around, and he blew out his knee. I just remember my father going,
that
"What did you
sounds
do
so
to yourself? What
painful.
did you do to yourself?" You know, he was just getting ready to go to. I think he was invited to spring training, like maybe like in a month he was supposed to go away.
God.
So yeah, that's his
Fate
claim
is
to
not,
fame, my brother.
Oh,
though.
that is so not good.
Yeah.
So so in high school, what did you want to be when you grew up? And then where did you go after school?
It's so funny, and growing up, I always wanted to act.
Yeah.
But my father was a grizzled old
Put your
World
hand-
War
put your
II
hand- put your hand there,
World
right
War II veteran. He
Yes.
said, "Don't be an idiot. You're going to get a job. You're never going to be." So that's what I did. You know, I graduated high school. I wasn't really much for college. I knew I wasn't gonna.
Right.
I did a 2-year stint at the Central Islip Psychiatric Center at a high school.
Okay.
And then in 1987, I started working for the town of Islip. I started out as a laborer,
Right.
and then you know
Yeah.
eventually worked my way up to a heavy equipment operator. And I just retired like 4 years ago. I was there for 36
Congratulations.
years.
I know
Thank
you did. You retired.
But my last couple of years there, I wound up getting a position as the union liaison. So I was in charge of like 350 blue collar workers. I helped negotiate
Yeah,
contracts.
yeah.
When somebody got in trouble, I had to bail them out. You know,
Yeah.
so it was a lot of fun. I learned
Yeah.
a lot. And, you know,
Yeah.
and for a guy with no college degree, it was.
No,
you know, it was-
you worked your way up the ladder.
Yeah.
My dad actually started at the bottom also and worked his way up to a business rep in Local 3, the electrical
okay.
union.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
he
yeah.
did exactly what you had to
Yeah,
do. You know, they had to negotiate contracts
Yep.
and, you know, go to bat for people and then kind of talk to whoever was on the job
Yep.
about issues and problems.
It was a lot of fun. I mean, I started out wearing work boots and hard hats, and now you know, it took me a while to get used to having suit and tie. And everybody's like, "What are you doing with the suit and tie on?" It was a little weird, you know.
Yeah, no, I definitely know. But what's nice is that, and my dad found this. I don't know if you did, but because you knew the guys so long, because you were on the job for so long, you already had like a camaraderie and respect from them.
It was. Sometimes it was both a blessing and, you know, like a curse at the same time, because you were friends with them. They expected more from you. And sometimes you can only do so much.
Yeah.
You know, when guys get in trouble or whatever, I mean, I used to pull out every trick I could get to say, but there was sometimes you couldn't, and you'd have to face some
Right.
consequences.
And then you
they'd
have
be
to
like,
tell them,
"Oh,
you
we're
know,
friends." I'm
yeah.
like, "Well,
yeah, but you have to also say to them, you can't push your luck either.
Exactly,
I mean, you know, like you
exactly.
said, sometimes your hands are tied and you can't do as much as you want.
But you are right, though. It had a lot of, you know, like I said, a lot of these guys I grew up on a job with, so it was nice. I had their respect, and they trusted
Right,
me.
because
and
they already knew you, and they
they
knew what type of person you were.
They knew if I told them I couldn't do it, it couldn't be done, then they believed it, and they, you know. I was always honest with people. I would never lie to somebody. If
Yeah.
I couldn't help them, I'd be straight up with them off the bat and say, "Listen, there's nothing I can do for you, but
Right.
you know, we'll do what we can." So.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, so let's get into acting because the man acts. What made you decide to get into acting? Because I know your first acting gig was in 2017. You did The Streets, which we have a picture. That's Eddie Rock Rivera. There you are
Yep.
with Eddie.
That was the first day on set. Actually, Richard Kern, who's a friend of mine who I went to high school with, we grew up in the
Right.
same town. He's like, "Oh, I need extras for a mob game. Do you
Ah.
want to be a background guy?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh." I was
And
like,
then we have a picture of him with Scott.
Yeah, that's
There
Scott
he is,
McManus, who I met on the set.
Shout out to Scott. We'll send this to him. And then that's also where we met, or you met Angel,
My buddy,
right?
yep.
Angel unfortunately passed away. Angel, yeah, you were very, very close to
Yeah,
to
that was
Angel.
he's the reason, him and Eddie are the reason that I got into acting, because like I said, I was background, and then someone
Well,
didn't show up. So they're like,
really?
"Oh, does anybody want to do this scene?" So I was like, "All right, whatever, I'll do it." So I did it, and then after I did it, Angel's like, "How long have you been acting for?" I said, "Just now." He's like, "And you know Angel?" He's like, I said, "Yeah, seriously."
the F
yeah,
outta
yeah.
here.
He goes, "Do it again," and I did it a couple more times. And originally they were just going to kill me off. So he went to Eddie. He's like, "You can't kill him off."
Oh, we wanted it.
Yeah, and then it just
Well, they
kind of
didn't.
blossomed.
They
didn't. No.
Because you end up doing, in 2020, you end up doing the Streets series, 2
Yep.
episodes.
Yep.
Then you end up doing the Streets 2.
Yep.
And then you end up doing, in the Streets 3, a mobster's daughter.
Right.
So it really parlayed, and you played Frankie, right?
Right, yeah, Frankie the
so
mobster,
so you came back every time as that character.
Yeah, it was, like I said, originally they were going to kill me off, but then Eddie started, once he started trusting me
But
with lines.
Angel really went to bat for you.
He did, yeah. Angel was, like I said, I can't even. I'm so sad. You know?
I
So I
know.
was away on vacation with my family when I heard the news about
I
him,
was
and I was
too.
just like,
I wasn't here.
I was devastated when I heard it, because I had just spoken to him a couple of weeks before, and he was supposed to come down, and we were going, I was going to meet up and hang out. He was going to do something with Eddie, and then I got the news when I was in Florida, and I was just like, it was something Angel told me a long time ago. When one of his friends passed away, he goes, He used to call me Poppy. He goes, you know, Poppy, the world's getting to be a lonelier place. And I was like, wow, that's deep, Angel.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until after he passed away, I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
you know, that really hit. I thought about him, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was a shame.
Yeah.
He was one of the good ones.
He,
Funny, talented.
He played Chi-Chi. Right, Chi-Chi?
Oh, he played Freddie in the streets.
Freddie in the
Freddie.
Streets, but Chi-Chi when in Scarface,
Scarface,
he was kind of like always by Pacino.
Yeah.
You saw Pacino.
And
you saw
it's so
you saw
funny
Angel.
because everybody just remembers him for Scarface and Carlito's
Yeah,
Way.
He's
been
and
in
Carlito's Way.
so
You're right, but
much
he
more.
did. Yeah, he did so much more.
So much
You're right.
more. And
You're
it was
right.
like, you know, when I was here, I had him on my show, and that was like one of the best times I ever had was when he was on the show.
Yeah, yeah.
Just you found out so much more about him. And, you know, the first time I met him, I was like starstruck because as a kid, I got Scarface posters on my wall, you know? And I watched that movie ad nauseum, you know? And the first time I met him, I was like, oh my God, it's him, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm,
In the
at that point,
flesh.
I'm a grown man at this point, too, and I'm still kind of taken back.
Yeah.
But he was such a down-to-earth, nice
He
guy.
was, and he was hysterical. You know, he wasn't only just a good actor, he also did stand-up comedy. I didn't do any shows with him, but he did come down to an open mic at Coasters one night. We were hanging out, him and I and Kathy Arnold, and then met him a few more times and hung out with him. We did MopCon a few years ago. He was there. And he's like, T, what's going on? Or he called me mommy, or, you know, I'm like, hey, Papa, Papi, or whatever. And, you know, because he always had such a accent. And he's like, what's going on? I said, yeah, I'm just doing interviews. I says, I'll come back and whatever. And then I saw him after that. But it was like, yeah, it was a little shocking, you know, especially when, you know, you're not prepared or you don't know if a person
especially since, you know, you talk to him
dealing
and
with
then you
something.
deal with, you know, talk to him 2 weeks before. And then all of a sudden I hear, I was like, oh my God.
That's why you have to really grab every day,
true.
and just make the most of it. Really.
Absolutely.
We both know that.
No, absolutely.
So that's what happened. Richie, who you know in high school,
Yep.
said to you, hey, this guy I know is making a movie, The Streets, come be in it. And then you got bumped up.
Yeah. It was amazing. I had one from no lines to like having like major lines. And I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to remember this.
Yeah.
You know, it was like so overwhelming. And I was like I was scared, you know?
Sure.
But Rocky trusted me with the, you know, with the parts, and you know,
Yeah,
he
it's like
didn't overwhelm me. He just gave me each week. It was a little bit more, and then the dialogue got more, and I was like, okay.
It's like, you know, just diving into the deep end.
Right.
You know, you got to just do it.
Yeah, exactly. It was a lot of fun, you know. Something I never thought I would be doing in my entire life, you know, like ever.
So in other words, you really just thought it was going to be like a one and done kind of thing?
I thought it was a one and done. Yeah, that was it. And then they told me
Really?
after I did the scene, like, oh, we're going to kill you off. I'm like, all right, cool. You know, I called Eddie up. I'm like, hey, Eddie, you know, thanks for the opportunity. This was a lot of fun. He goes, well, you know, hold on. He goes, I hope you got some time. I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, we're not killing you off. I spoke to Angel. Angel said, no way. We have to keep you.
Wow.
I'm like, I'm not an actor. He goes, well, you fooled him. I said, okay.
That's great. Well, acting is reacting, and I guess that's what you did.
Yeah, exactly,
You know,
yeah.
you're in the moment, and you're
Yep.
just reacting. That's cool.
Absolutely.
In 2018, you did Anadelia Arises, right? And am I saying it right?
Anadelia Arises,
Anadelia
yeah.
Arises. You played Tom Sorrento, which was a short that actually you produced.
I helped produce, along with
Yeah.
Richard Kern. I had gotten them guys. We had a full functioning hotel to do it.
Really?
Yeah, I actually had a friend who was a maintenance worker for it, and I said, any chance of getting this? He goes, yeah, we'll see what we can do.
You got to call in a lot of favors when you're producing and you're really in it. That's when you just have to pull out everybody
Mm-hmm.
like you know, and people who you know who might own a restaurant or an office building or you know. In your case.
Yeah, that was really, I wasn't expecting that. That was a big thing, you know, to get a full file. And we were there for like 2 days, you know, and we had rooms we were using to shoot things in, and we were shooting scenes in the pool, and
Yeah,
it was-
you have to take advantage of every nook and cranny.
yeah, no, it was definitely, it was an eye opener, you know,
That's great.
something I never thought I would ever pull off. But
And
we
then, like
did
I
it.
said before, you did Streets 2, Streets 3, A Mobster's Daughter, The Streets, the 2 series as Frankie. So yeah, they brought you back, which was great.
Yep.
2024, you did Even the Score. You played Sal.
Yeah, that was I don't know if you know Rocco Gioia.
Sounds familiar, but I'm better with faces than names.
Yeah, he's got Even the Score, and then they did another thing, Take It Back.
Yes, Take It Back, which my friend Peter Gaudio
Yes, Peter was in that, yep.
Shout out to Peter. I'll send this to him too. And that's basically about a vendetta.
Yes.
Someone just getting even for,
Yep.
I guess it was their father's death
Yeah,
or something?
the father had got you know, I guess it was a mob style.
Yeah.
So they come back to, and that was another Richard Kern was in that film too. He He played one of the guys that
And
was.
where did you film that?
We filmed it all over Long Island. We were actually in a bar called Shakers in Oakdale.
Oh yeah.
Where we
I
shot a
know
lot
it.
of the scenes. And
Yeah.
We shot Scott McManus had gotten a couple of locations,
Okay.
restaurants. I think Salt was where I wasn't there
Yeah.
for that shoot, but
Yeah.
so
That's
that's where that was
cool.
shot. Yeah.
All right, listen, I gotta take my first break already. Don't go away. We're gonna be back with Frank after this.
Wonder Woman was everything to little girls, especially that look like me. She stands for being a voice for people that need a voice. My organization renovates homes for people with disabilities. And when I come home, a self-care routine makes me feel my best. I'm very proud of the difference that we're making, and to see that impact in my community inspires me to work even harder for everyone around me.
All right. Is everybody having a good time tonight or what? That's what I thought. All right, so we are live, Paradise Studios, New York. Give yourself a round of applause for coming out tonight. Woo! Well, hi there, Theresa. It's John York from General Hospital. I am just checking in because apparently you have a great talk show called Tea Time on Strong Island TV. I want you to have continued great success and have a lot of fun. It sounds like you're having a lot of fun, and that's pretty much the key to everything, isn't it? So continued success. I'm proud of you. Have a great day, Theresa. Bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. Please like the show, please share the show. Give some shout outs to Bruno's watching, and Michael Norton from Florida, and Ann Rothney, and Valentina, and Joshua. Thank you everyone for watching the show. Please like it, please share it. Hey listen, you know, this is my birthday month. I turned 60, the big 60 on the 6th, and every week, my celebrity friends have been leaving me birthday messages. I had Maurice Bernard, who plays Sonny from General Hospital, and Doc Gooden, and Butch Patrick, who played Eddie Munster. And tonight, I heard Mark Mendoza from Twisted Sister has a video for me with a birthday message. Let's take a look.
There once was a fairy princess. Her name was Theresa. She wanted to be an actress. She tried real hard, and now she's got cable access. Happy, happy birthday, happy, happy birthday, happy, happy birthday, happy birthday.
Thank you, my friend Mark Mendoza. Oh my God, he's hysterical, right?
Yes, I met him a couple times. He's a
So
great guy.
freaking funny. I love that man. He is the sweetest. He did my show. He wants to come back, and he will. Thank you again, Mark. That is the last birthday message for the month of September. I appreciate it. Save the best for last. Actor, writer, producer Frank Correira is with me. We're talking about him growing up on Long Island and starting a career as kind of like, you know, just something to do back in 2017 with The Streets, with Richie Kern recommending you and Eddie Rock Rivera doing it. And then Angel Salazar, who is amazing, had said, hey, don't kill this character off.
him
This
off,
guy
yeah.
can act and I want him back. And he went on to do other spin-offs from it, which is great. I want to continue now with something called Bum Rush, but you worked a lot with Glenn McBride. Jr., right?
Yeah, well, I met Glenn on
which we're going to go back to, which Good Friday was originally.
Actually, I met Glenn on the set of Polybius.
You did. Now, Polybius, we're going out of order, but that's fine. Polybius, we have a picture. There you are. And tell everyone who that is.
That is Tom Atkins.
Tom
Escape from New
Atkins.
York, Halloween 3, the Night of the Creeps. He was like the
Yes.
thing back in the 80s with a legend. And
Yes, he was on everything.
I even caught him on an old MASH episode from 1973.
Did you really?
Yes.
Did you really?
Yes, I was watching MASH one night.
And
I'm
he
like,
was
oh
in
my
Lethal
God.
Weapon?
Yep.
Yeah, he was, and tell me what that was about.
Polybius?
Yeah, and
That
it was a short
right,
film.
that was a short horror film. It was about a kid who was possessed by this video game.
Oh.
Much like today with the kids, they're zombies when they're looking at video games. So
You're right.
But yeah, the kid gets possessed, and
Yeah.
you know, there's people dying, and you know, it was really like something I had never seen before. And it was.
And you played.
I played a sheriff.
the
deputy
sheriff.
Yeah, deputy. Well, Tom Atkins was a sheriff. I played a deputy sheriff.
Oh, you played his like assistant.
And that was a Jimmy Kelly and Mike Tewitt film. Two very talented filmmakers. You know,
Right.
And that's where Glenn has been involved with them for a long time, and that's where I met Glenn.
Right.
On
Okay.
the set of that.
Right. And then you and I and Glenn and everyone and their mother that we know of did a movie started years ago called Good Friday, which is Sal Ranella.
Ranella,
So
yep.
shout out to Sal Ranella.
Sal was gracious enough to let me on
Yes,
that. That was
yeah. I played Mrs. Basil. I played Pat Marone's wife. So I played the mob wife, and it takes place in the 70s. I didn't bring a pic of that. But I will tell you, it was a lot of fun, you know, filming with everybody. I'm not too sure where it is or what it's where it's going or what's going on. I guess Sal will let us know. But we had a ton of friends
Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
in that. Oh, a lot of fun.
And that's where I met Pat Marone.
Yes.
On that great guy, Pat.
Yeah.
I met a lot of good Anthony Aveni, a lot of
Yes,
great people
yeah,
on that.
yeah.
on that
Had
set.
them
It was
all
a
on
lot
my
of fun.
show.
It was a lot of fun.
And then also Glenn McBride Jr. Went on to do with you Bum Rush. Did you do Bum Rush or you did Love Update? Which
I
one
did
did
Love
you do?
Updates with Glenn.
Okay, and did you do Supply and Demand?
Supply and
also?
Demand. I had a cameo on that.
Okay.
And that's the Bum Rush picture there. That's when, that was a great time.
Okay, thank you for putting that up. Okay,
That was
and
a
then
great
there's,
time.
were you putting up other pics wuthout me looking? Okay, so
Just
we'll
that
put up
one.
the one with Glenn, because we have Glenn up there.
There it
you
is.
are.
There's my buddy. Glenn played like a pimp.
Right. That's great.
And that's from Love Updates. We shot that in Brooklyn.
Cool.
And that's
Very
Kyle
cool.
Grant, another
Yeah,
talented individual.
Very cool. So he has something coming up at the Belmore Theater. He's going to be showing a couple of his films, I
Yep.
think on October
6th. Yep.
which unfortunately I can't go to. But he's also going to be in Nylif. Look up Nylif, that's under Jerry Ferretti. Nylif, that's going to be October 16th to the 20th. And numerous films are going to be there. Dan Laurier from The Wonder Years is going to be there at the awards ceremony. That's
awesome.
exciting. Pancakes and Syrup, Horsetown, and Me and My Nuts are 3 projects that I'm in that are going to be there. So I'm excited about that because I know you and I are going to try to catch as much as we
Yeah,
can.
absolutely. Glenn's a lot like you. Every time I turn around, he's got something else going on. He's actually got a little mob movie that he's doing. The name escapes me. I'm sorry, Glenn.
Okay.
But he had asked me to be in too. So when we
Good.
start filming that, yeah.
Good. That's
looking forward to
good.
it. Glenn's a great individual. He's always, like I said,
Yeah.
always checking in, seeing how I'm doing. He's,
Yeah, yeah.
And whenever he's got something going on, he always involves me. in
And then
it,
you
so.
did Lester Vaughn. Tell me about Lester Vaughn.
Lester Vaughn was it was based on here on Long Island. It was about a serial killer. It was a Thomas Robinson film, a horror short. It was about a serial killer, and I played a FBI agent, Frank Schiavarelli,
Okay.
and we were hunting us down. We shot all over Long Island. It was.
It's nice to film in your own backyard.
It is. It's great. I mean, we did a lot of Connecticut State Park and Lakeland County Park and all over the place. It was definitely a lot of fun.
That's cool.
Yes.
So cool.
Oh, that was the picture.
Okay, that brings us to, well, again, I'm just saying them, Cairo Killers.
Yes.
So Cairo Killers, you produced,
I helped produce that. Yes.
and you played a sheriff.
I played Sheriff
Hello,
Kent. Yes.
Tyler Kent.
Yep.
And that was with Richie Kern. There's Richie. And
Yep.
also, Richie wrote this along with Bella DiMartini.
he did, yes.
So shout out to Bella. Tell me about that scene, that shot right there.
That is my youngest son, who I was really proud of him that day. He was like 4 hours on that floor.
Really?
That was just him resting. They took the pillow away. later on. But he was actually
Yeah, there's no pillow at the final cut.
he was actually murdered by Catherine Michio, who
Yeah.
was such a talented
Yeah.
actress. She was so good with my son.
Yeah.
She was so good with him.
Shout
She's
out to
such a
Katharina.
talented actress.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, it was great. I don't know if I had any other picks connected to that. All right, because I know I labeled everything. I'm trying to keep everything together here. But that was an interesting story.
Yes, absolutely. It
I
was-
don't want to give anything away.
Yeah, no,
for
you can.
people who.
You can actually find it on YouTube right now. It's on YouTube.
Okay,
I mean,
so
I
let's
know
look-
he's got plans in the near future to make it into a
distribute it?
feature.
Oh, that'll
you know,
be great.
But that
That'll
was
be
very
great.
well written, very well.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
it was very good. A lot of good people. I mean, Joe DeBarry was in it.
Yeah,
Joe
shout out
Larson.
to Joe DeBarry.
Joe's a good guy. I love Joe.
Yeah.
Joe Larson.
Yes.
Scott McManus and Bella was in there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I forgot anybody's name. I'm sorry. There was so many people. But
I know. I'll send this to everybody. Okay, so then you also did The Left-Handed Agent, and you played Colonel Dana?
that was Carmine Caradona's.
Yes. Yeah.
We never got to film that.
Oh,
one.
you didn't?
Unfortunately,
All
no.
right,
We never
okay.
got to film that.
All right, should have asked you beforehand.
No, it's all good.
What about Tapping Out?
Tapping Out? That was the one I had.
That you played a detective.
Well, that's the one I had.
You play
I
a
had-
lot of detectives
It's either
and
a
sheriffs.
mob guy or a detective.
Yeah, so either you're like on one side of the law or the other.
that we wrote, but we haven't. It never got.
Okay.
It hasn't gotten filmed yet. No.
All right. So that's
Because unfortunately, I was, when we were talking about it.
Yeah,
I'm sure
we're gonna
get into that. But
yeah, we're gonna get into that. So you is it time for my second break already? Oh my God, I think I gotta take my next break. All right,
flies,
listen,
eh?
I go so fast, people. Don't go away. More with Frank after this.
Hi, I'm Georgia Rose, founder of Zenkuda. You can watch me on the Soul Space podcast every Friday at noon on Channel 20 for spiritual guidance. And as you all know, that is how I first opened into my own psychic gifts, was through the angelic realm, astrology. So we've got Mars and the Sun together in Scorpio, which creates a lot of combustion. In the astrological world, we call that a kazemi, and tarot. With the Four of Cups right side up, it means we have a lot of choices to make and we're not looking at what's really being divinely given to us. We're too busy in the busyness of the choices to really see the divine intervention, the divine timing, and the divine guidance. We're the place. Watch the Soul Space podcast.
How you doing? It's Sal, the voice Valentinetti. Why are you watching me? You should be watching Theresa Canastraci Tea Time with Theresa Canastraci Farrell. And make sure you follow Theresa on Facebook. Tea Time with Theresa Canastraci Farrell. We'll see you there.
I love the way you say my name. I love.
well, he's that thing I was talking about.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Tea Time. Shout out to everybody who's watching. You got Michelle watching and Ann watching. Hello, Bruno. Aw, he said you're a class act.
Thank you, Bruno. Bruno's the best.
Yeah,
Him and
I
Ann,
know.
when we had our show
He's
here,
so
we're always
loyal.
so loyal.
He's so
yes.
loyal. He's the best. And I'm glad I got to meet him at Governor's Comedy Club one night. He drove all the way here, and I got to meet him in
Bruno's
person.
made that trip a few times.
I know he has.
He did one.
He's
I think when Angel was
amazing.
doing a comedy thing here, Bruno was
Yeah,
here for that.
yeah,
so.
he's amazing.
He is. He's an awesome guy.
All right, so let's talk about how tomorrow is October 1st. And that means, the end of the
Spooky
month
season.
is Halloween, which is actually my daughter's birthday, Halloween. And this is like a special time
Yep.
of year for you. Tell me why, before we put up any pics.
Well, for the last 4 years, we've been doing. We started out as Dark Night Halloween World. We had a big thing at the Brookhaven Amphitheater. It was like one of the biggest walk-through Halloween things.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they had some things with the amphitheater that they couldn't do, so they moved on from that. So now we're doing helping out the Farmingville Fire Department.
Yes, so let's mention that. That is going to be October 4th and 5th. Yep. Okay, and that's at the Farmingville.
Farmingville.
Farmingville. Thank you for correcting me. Farmingville Fire Department. So you can go to the website, which is Long Island Haunted Firehouse.org, and that will give you the dates and the times and everything else that goes along with it, okay? That's exciting, but you have more than just that one. I mean, it goes, for you, it goes like throughout the entire month.
Yeah, we'll do it the whole month of, it'll be, this opening week is the 4th and the 5th, and then the rest, it's going to be every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then on Halloween, we'll do
at
Halloween.
Different places as well?
No, just at that place.
So that's the one.
That's it.
Because every year is a different place, right?
Well, it used to be at the same spot, but this year we switched over this,
so
we're helping them out. So
for all the dates of the month of October, again, go to Long Island Haunted Firehouse.com and check it out because it's exciting. We have a couple of pics,
It's a lot of fun.
you know, of you doing it in the past. All right, tell everyone which one you are. You in the pic?
I am the creepy guy with the yellow hockey mask on.
Yes, he is. The one who's choking the clown.
Elisa DiStefano
In
was
front-
very creeped out by
Elisa
me.
DiStefano. Shout out to Elisa.
She came to visit us.
The next picture is just the two of you.
Yep.
She's great, isn't she?
She was
great?
awesome. We had such a good time with her. And
Yeah.
we creeped her out a lot. She was a lot of fun. She was a good sport because we really. She hates those things too. And we made her very uncomfortable, so that was fun.
Well, I mean, look, everyone. I mean, I like a good horror flick, but to walk through kind of like a Halloween corn maze, so to speak, and really getting the living bejesus scared out of you. I mean, we're gonna have to wear Depends.
It was funny because we had special things like for the kids that didn't want to be scared if they had a little glow wand.
Then
they had to show the characters the glow wand.
Like not to jump out.
I would hop out of the coffin and just wave to them.
Did you see that? Do you know Jimmy Fallon does that every year? Did you see his?
No, I didn't.
Oh my God, I'm going to send it to you.
Yeah, no, I want to see
Jimmy
it.
Fallon does one every year, and he bought Prince Harry through it.
That's awesome. I have to see that. How
You
have
know,
I never seen that?
It's funny to watch people get scared, right? I'll send it to you.
And the
I'll
funny
send you
part,
the
that was
clip.
one of my first paid acting jobs doing that, you know?
Was it?
Yeah. All the acting I did, I got paid the first time by being in a haunted house.
Because they look for actors and people.
Yeah,
who,
they want people with experience.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
So
yeah.
you know, it's definitely beneficial if you have some acting experience.
Right.
Because, you know,
Have
it's
you
more than
had-
just go boo, you know?
Now, obviously, you're behind the mask, so people don't know it's you.
Right.
Have you had family and friends come through who you recognize?
Yes. Actually, Glenn came through. He had no clue who I
Did
was.
he?
Yeah. I told him afterwards. So.
Oh my God, that's great. I'm gonna have to come with my girl Kristen Tinsley because Kristen's into scary stuff, and I need to be protected.
Yeah, come down and see us. Let me know when you're gonna come.
And now, do you wear a different outfit every year?
Yeah, every year it's a little something different. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So then I'm not looking for the yellow mask.
No, because my son was a little smart guy. He came through with my wife, and he's like, "Oh, there's Dad." I'm like, "Really? You have to ruin it for everybody?"
Oh,
I really wanted to scare your mother. You
yeah.
ruined it.
Oh.
So now, you know. But he actually he helps out with the haunted thing too. So he enjoys it too.
And I
so.
have to let my daughter know too, because she likes a good scare.
Yeah, come by. It's like
Oh,
I
yeah,
said,
we're
it's
definitely gonna
for
do
the money.
this.
It's a great thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. It's a good cause.
It is.
Absolutely. So that's good to know. Also, I want to talk about getting into this month. I know we have like 20 minutes left, but I really want to kind of focus on this. We can go back to other stuff if you
fine.
want, but I want to focus on this. First of all, I want people to know how they find you. So it's Frank Correira. Name's right there at the bottom of the screen. Is on Facebook. And on Instagram, it's Frankie C. 329 on Instagram. So go to the Instagram, go to his Facebook page. That's where you'll find, you know, what he's doing, especially with the haunting stuff. Like I said, Halloween's big in my house because it's my daughter's birthday.
Right.
So we go crazy decorating in and out of the house. But Valerie, my daughter, was very funny because when she was little, I think she was 2. Her first birthday, she couldn't walk yet, and she was a bumblebee. Her second birthday, she was a Mets cheerleader. And she would go and say, trick or treat. And then she'd say, today's my birthday. And they're like, wait, come here. Let me give you more candy.
extra, right.
I'm like, oh, yeah, she knew how to work it.
Of course,
She definitely knew
of
how to work
course.
it. But I want to ask you, do you remember the first time you dressed up for Halloween, what you wore?
As a little kid,
Yeah.
it was one of those cheesy costumes
With
from
the plastic
Woolworths with the little
faces?
hole that you sweated your butt
Yes,
off. It might have been like a clown or something.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
Used to go to Woolworths. I think they were like $2.98
Yes.
for the costume.
Yeah,
It was
that's
like
what we
thick
got
plastic
ours.
with the elastic in
Yeah.
the back. That,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Yeah, that was our costumes. Or I was the youngest of 8. I had a big family.
Wow.
So
I didn't know
a
that.
lot of times my mother would dress us up as bums or whatever because
Yeah, I mean,
it was
my
either buy us
mom-
costumes or eat. So
My mom made a lot of our costumes too,
Yeah.
whether it be a ghost or a witch or whatever. Yeah, you learn to improvise.
Yep, it was a lot of bums and bummy costumes, or one of my father's old flannel shirts, and my mother would put some stuff on her face and send us on our way.
Yeah, exactly. Have fun, kids.
See you later.
Yeah. All right, so I want to talk about something a little bit more serious while we're, talking. But this month is actually September is Blood Cancer Awareness Month. And in 2010, you were diagnosed,
I was diagnosed, yeah.
with chronic, I'm not going to say it right, say it, you say it.
Lymphocytic leukemia.
Yes.
Yes.
And so it's like do they call it LL or CLL?
CLL, yes.
CLL, because
yeah.
I know they abbreviate
Yeah.
everything. It's something that you need treatments for.
Yes.
There's no cure, but it can be managed.
Right. I mean, I was diagnosed at 45 years old.
Okay, and
that's
tell
something
me-
that usually happens when you're 60s or 70s.
Well, it just happened recently to my cousin, and he's going for treatments as well. So my question is at 45, what were your symptoms, or how did you feel, or how did you know you needed to get checked?
I didn't even know I needed it. I was actually going in. I was having surgery I got hurt at work. I was going for surgery for my elbow. I had
Okay.
a nerve surgery.
Yeah.
And they did my blood work. They do the pre-op stuff. And they're like, oh, your white cell count's like, 13, 14,000. I'm like, all right, what does that mean? Like,
Right.
you might have an infection, you might have something. So just
Okay.
go to the hematologist. So I go to the hematologist to get the blood work. And then me and my wife go back the next day, and we see the doctor, and she's like, oh, yeah, okay, it's about what we thought. I'm like, what? She goes, you have leukemia.
Wow.
I felt like I got hit with a shovel.
Wow.
I looked at my wife, I'm like, what did she say? Like, and I understand doctors, they say it every day.
Right.
I don't hear I have cancer every day.
Correct,
So it was, I was
correct.
like, I was stunned.
Right.
And at that point, my wife had just given birth to my son Salvatore like 6 months before. So here I was, 45 years old with a 6-month-old son. I was like, and I've had cancer in my family. I lost my mother when I was young to cancer. My father, my grandmother, my sister passed away from lung cancer. So the minute I heard it, I was like, all right, death sentence. Because anybody in my family that had cancer, it was followed by death.
Right.
So here I was, 45 years old with a 6-month-old son, saying I'm never going to see him grow up.
Wow.
That was just like,
Yeah.
it took me a while to kind of wrap my head around it.
Yeah,
I was very
process it.
angry at first.
Yeah.
I was bitter.
Yeah.
I was like, why me?
Right.
Why does God hate me? It really was.
You start questioning a lot of things.
Absolutely, yeah.
And like you said, doctors say it every day. Some of them have more tact than others, or I guess better bedside manners, because like I was telling you before, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor. It'll be 10 years in March that I had my surgery, and when I went for the MRI, the doctor told me over the phone, you have a tumor and you need to find a brain surgeon. And I'm like, why couldn't you just wait till the next day for me to go into the office
right.
with someone? Because I was by myself.
Right.
I was hysterical. I couldn't even drive home. Why couldn't he wait till the next day? This is why I'm saying it's like, they say it every day, but I don't understand.
I was glad to have my wife with me.
It's
'cause
like
I
getting
heard-
hit upside the head,
Right.
right? Like a bat. Someone
Right.
took a bat.
That's
You
what I
got-
felt. I felt like somebody put a shovel to the side of my
Yeah.
head, and I'm glad I had my wife with me.
Thank
'cause
God
I
she was
heard
with you.
Maybe 40% of what
Yeah,
she was
because
saying.
then you zone out.
Right, because I was just thinking, my mind's racing, going, all right, what, a year, 2 years, 5 years, and I made the biggest rookie mistake ever, going on Google.
Oh no.
Life expectancy, 1 to 5 years.
No.
So you talk about an anxiety attack?
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
I went into a massive anxiety attack.
And then
Massive.
obviously that's when you found out what type it was and that it was treatable, and then a protocol was put in place.
Right. It's a slow progressing, and you know, thank God it was just up until a little over a year ago when I had to start getting treatments and not chemo. I became immunocompromised, which I was getting sick a lot, upper respiratory infections.
Right.
So once a month I go for this immunogammaglobulin, it's called. It helps to boost my immune system
Right.
to fight off
That's what
infections.
he's going for.
Right, because I've been in the hospital. I've had infections, and I was in the hospital for a week. I had sepsis. It's just, you know, and like we talked
And thank
about.
God you're here to tell me that,
Yeah,
because
thank
I had
God.
a cousin pass away from that.
Yeah.
That's scary. Very, very scary.
It is scary, and listen, I'm blessed. I mean, I go through my stuff, but thank God, you know.
I know.
I'm here to tell the
I know.
tale.
Yeah, and I make a joke, and some people are not going to find this funny, but I say we look really good on the outside, but like we're so rotting on the inside.
And you know
there's
that-
a lot going on, Frank.
That's funny you should say that,
Because I got a lot of issues too, and everyone's like, "What?"
people say to me, "Well, you don't look like you have cancer." I'm like, "Thank you. I mean, what am I supposed to look like?"
I don't know. Not everyone's bald who
Right.
walks around with cancer.
Right. I'm not 20 pounds. I'm not.
Right.
Like,
Right.
I have it. I'm not
Right.
trying to impress you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
no,
I do
know,
have it. You
I
know.
Yeah.
And that,
yeah.
you know, sometimes they feel bad afterwards, and you know, I used to get mad at first, you know, but now I'm just like, you know, they don't know.
No.
You know, you can't get mad.
No. And it's better that you tell them and they ask questions than try to figure stuff out.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
You know
So,
what I
but it
mean?
was hard when I first to break. I have 6 children, so to break it to the kids.
He's got 6 kids, people. Doesn't he look good?
To break it to the kids, it was hard. You know,
And he has hair because, you know,
got some
6
left.
kids. I have 1 and I want to pull all mine out. He's got 6, and God bless.
and a granddaughter too. So
And he's a
2-year-old granddaughter.
grandfather.
But it was hard to break it to them. You know, my oldest daughter,
Yeah.
Kristen's like, she's like, I don't want to know anything until it's bad. I said, okay. You know, I respect that. Whatever.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. Everyone handles it so differently.
But it took me a while to kind of get wrapped around it and to be able to deal with it. And I did that through working with the Leukemia Society. I started raising money. I think in 3 years I raised over $60,000.
Wow,
And
beautiful.
you know, it kind of drove me to like maybe that next dollar I raise is going to be the one that's going to fund the cure.
Right.
And they've come a long way
Right.
now. I
They
mean,
have.
with leukemia.
They
You know,
really
listen,
have.
it's something that's never going to go away. It's
No,
always
no.
there.
Yes.
I've lost a couple of friends over the years that have the same thing I have. So every
Yeah.
time I lose a friend, I'm like, all right, I'm
Yeah.
waiting. You know,
Well,
I'm waiting for that pendulum to swing.
Well, I'm actually, Bobby, we have that pic? No. Yes,
Yeah,
we
that's
have
one of
that
them.
pic.
That's
That's
one of them.
Live Strong Daddy. Tell me where that was taken and
That was taken.
how long ago?
That was taken probably 7 or 8 years ago at Bethpage Ballpark. They did a Light the Night walk.
Nice.
And that was the name of our team, Live Strong Daddy, and that's my daughter's. The only one missing is my oldest son, who wasn't there the night, and obviously the baby wasn't there.
Right.
But those are my
Right.
daughters.
That's the four
and my
girls.
Wife,
4 girls. All right, listen, on that note, let's take a break. And when we come back, more with Frank. Don't go away. Please come back. Hey, everybody, it's Theresa from Tea Time. What's my show about? I interview people in the entertainment industry, producers, directors, actors, and guess what? My show is on every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. on Channel 20 on Optimum TV. So tune in because it's fun, interesting, and exciting.
Doc, who's the best comedian you know?
Theresa Farrow.
And who's the best actress you know?
Theresa Farrow.
And who's the best cast member in Bad Boys?
Teresa Farrow.
Who's got the best radio?
Teresa Farrow.
Doc, who's your favorite Jimmy?
Teresa Farrow.
Who are you loving right now?
Teresa Farrow.
All right, Doc, I love you too, baby.
Love you as always.
Thank you.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Tea Time. Shout out to everybody who's watching. Thank you so much. I can feel the love. Hey, Energetic's watching. Do you
boy
know a guy
Danny.
named Energetic?
I know Danny boy.
Thanks for watching and tuning in. Hey, listen, I'm with my friend, Frank Correira. He's an actor, he's a writer, he's a producer. We've been talking about him growing up on Long Island and his career acting and how, you know, He's into Halloween, and he's going to scare the bejesus out of all of us if we go see him at the Farmingville Fire Department, okay, for the month of October. So please go to Long Island hauntedfirehouse.org to see times and dates and everything else, all the other information that's there. And I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with either Kristen or my sister. I'm gonna go. Let's go. We'll make it a trip and we'll go,
That'll
people.
be a lot of fun.
It is gonna be great. But we were talking before the break of how back in 2010, Frank was diagnosed with CLL, which is chronic
Lymphocytic.
Say it again?
Lymphocytic
Leukemia. And how it is, there's no cure, but it is treatable, and you go for monthly infusions.
Right.
And I also want people to know that I'm actually dedicating this show to my best friend, Betsy Blank, who passed away. There she is. Thank you for leaving that there. She passed away at 55 from acute myeloid leukemia. She was a beautiful person. I met her in college, and she was my sister. And we were supposed to grow old together, and that's not happening anymore. She had one sibling, and she was not a bone marrow match. And a gentleman was a match, and she had a bone marrow transplant. And she was in remission for about 3 months, and then unfortunately it came back, and she passed a little while after that. Thank you. So I'm dedicating the show to Betsy Blank. And you, my friend, for being here
Thank you.
and being a survivor. Cancer affects all of us. Either we've had it, or we know someone who's had it. We know someone who's passed from it. It's in everyone's lives.
No, it is, absolutely.
Your wife is your rock.
She is.
We're going to get a little verklempt. And I know you love all your kids dearly, but your backbone is your wife. So give her a shout out.
Nicole, I love you, babe. Thanks for everything. She got me drooling. No, she was. You don't, like in the beginning, I took out a lot on her. And you don't realize that they're hurting. You're hurting, but they're hurting for you too.
Right. Yeah.
And you dump a lot on them. I mean, I was nasty to her. I said things I probably shouldn't have said to her.
Right.
And but when you're going through, you don't realize that they're hurting just as much as you. Your kids are hurting, But she's trying to, big smile on her face, it's going to be okay. And,
I know, because she became your cheerleader.
Yeah.
Like I became Betsy's cheerleader, and you're scared. The person's scared, and you're scared for them. And obviously, you want everyone to have a wonderful outcome. But what I wanted to know from you is, did you seek out any groups who had the same thing? Because I joined a brain tumor survivor Facebook group, and my brother, shout out to my brother Salvatore, who's also a cancer survivor, he was diagnosed with esophageal cancer. And he also found a group to either ask questions or to vent or to, so did you do that for yourself?
What the Leukemia Society has an organization called First Connect. And what they do is they put you in touch with someone who has the same cancer as you.
Right.
So
almost like a buddy system.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So they hooked me up with this guy, Bob. He was diagnosed, 7 years before me.
Okay.
He kind of helped me, helped me through it all. And this was 2010. So we're still friends today. We still call each other. We talk. He checks in on me. I check in on him.
Right.
It helped to talk to somebody else who has it, because, like I said,
you mentally need it.
Right. I was planning my own funeral because I figured it was it.
Because the other thing is that, and I believe this wholeheartedly also, because of trauma in our lives, and we all have trauma, I think we all suffer from some form or type of PTSD.
Right.
We all
Absolutely.
We all do.
Absolutely.
We all have something. So that's why I was asking, and it's good that you have this Bob in your life, this buddy system.
That was a big help, and then I wound up getting trained, and I was able to help people too as well.
Awesome.
So that
was like a big brother kind of
It
thing.
really was, and like I said, between raising the money,
back.
raising the money, and then being able to help somebody, because I remember I was scared.
Yes.
And to talk to somebody else who I was like, well, you know, I know some people, you know, your friends would go, well, I know how you feel. No, you don't.
No.
You know, you don't have a brain tumor. You don't have leukemia.
No.
When you have somebody who's going through what you're going through, yeah, they do know how you feel. They know every little emotion, every little rational emotion, you know, everything. So it's good to be able to kind of bounce that off from somebody who knows what you're going through.
Do they do a leukemia walk every year
They
also?
do Light the Night, yep.
Yes.
They do a Light the Night walk.
When is that in the month of September?
They usually do it in October. I haven't done them in a while.
Okay, because I have to be honest with you, they do a brain tumor walk,
Right.
and it was at Jones Beach, and I was supposed to go. It was a Sunday, and I was sick. I couldn't go, and I was kind of bummed because I didn't know about the event. It was something that I just found out about.
Yeah, they used to do it at Bethpage Ballpark where the Long Island Ducks play, but I know they think they moved it to probably the same venue that you're talking about,
Jones
like
Beach,
Bethpage, Jones Beach or something.
They do a lot of walks there. The breast
Yeah.
cancers in
Yep.
October. I try to walk in memory of some family members for that.
I lost my mother to breast cancer when I was, you know, she was 57 years old when she passed away. Yeah, so.
So young, so young. But again, you just went to get checked and they found something.
That was it. I was just getting checked for
But thank God
surgery.
you did. Thank God.
Yeah,
you
no.
know, everything happens for a reason. You know what I'm saying? The way my brother found his cancer was a fluke also.
Right.
I'm not going to get into it. It's too long of a story. But again, if something did not happen to him, he wouldn't have known he had cancer. You know what I mean? So God does work in mysterious ways, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, we talked about earlier too. It's like with blood cancer, you're open to every type of cancer.
Right.
Brain cancer, lung cancer, kidney cancer, pancreatic. So, you know, people are like, well, how do you deal? I said, if I sat and thought about it, I'd be curled up in the ball in my room and I wouldn't leave my house. You know, you got to live life. You know,
Absolutely.
Listen, nobody knows when their
We're
time's
not
going to come.
promised tomorrow.
Right.
No one's promised tomorrow. You walk out that door in the morning and you just pray you're coming home. You know.
One of my friends said one time, he goes, tomorrow is only a rumor. And it's true. You don't know. I mean, a perfectly healthy person will walk out, get hit by a car.
It's
true.
It's like it's so true.
You just try to live, life every day. I've gotten more spiritual. I really wasn't a religious person.
Yes.
But over these years, I've gotten more spiritual.
Yes,
I've kind of given it up to God and just, what's going to happen? It's His will.
We have no control.
I always pray to Him that I want to live long enough just to walk my daughters down the aisle and see my kids grow.
Yes.
And know that they're going to be good. And then you take me whenever you have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's always been my, what I would like.
Well, listen, we have a couple of minutes left. Did we finish all the picks? Did we go through all the picks? No, we're not going to touch on that one. All right, so listen, let's end this on a happier note. I mean, obviously, this is an important subject, and Frank, I wanted Frank on the show for a long time, and again, with health issues, and he has taken some time off from acting, which good news is he's going to be returning to acting, and he has some things lined up and in the works, which we're not going to discuss. Sorry, he has to come back and talk about them.
Absolutely.
But
I've missed it, but, like we talked about, family first.
Family first. But in the last, where did this thing come from? But in the last minute, I just want to thank you for doing this. Like I said, he reached out to me and he says, I'm ready to do your show. I said, I'm ready to have you. And he said, September is a very meaningful month for him because of the Blood Cancer Awareness Month. So we wanted to get this in, boy, by the squeak of our pants. September 30th, Frank.
But like I tell my friends, Blood Cancer Awareness Month is 12 months out of the year for me, I don't have just one month to think about it. I think about it every day. So.
Absolutely. So I thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
You come back anytime you want.
I would love to come back. When I got more to do, I'm going to come back.
Absolutely. And I hope we get to work together again.
Yeah,
because even though we did Good Friday, we really didn't have any scenes together. You know what I mean? So hopefully we'll do something together.
Absolutely.
Put that on screen forever, right?
Yeah, we got to talk to our buddy Glenn. Maybe he can write something
We
first.
will. We'll talk to Glenn. All right, listen, I want to tell everyone for tuning in. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And I appreciate everyone watching the show and liking it and supporting Tea Time. I do this because you guys keep tuning in. You know what I mean? So tell your friends about it. Let's get more people. I have great guests. It's a lot of great information. Again, thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you next week. And remember, tell everyone you love them. Ciao.
Have a good night, babe.